you ready to master the waves of medical device product development? Well, wax up your surfboard because you are listening to Inspired by Imua. And here is your medical device product development expert, that Hawaiian-hearted hostess who will help you hang 10, Meghan Alonso.
And aloha! You're listening to Inspired by Imua, where we help you master the waves of medical product development. Each week, we interview guests that educate, guide, and inspire to give you and your product the skills you need to hang 10. If this is your first time listening, Imua is spelled I-M-U-A, and it's a Hawaiian word. It means to advance forward with passion despite rough waves. There are plenty of those in medical product development, but keep listening because we've got you covered. So I just have a few announcements. Is that what I want to say? Updates? That sounds better. So a few updates for you. I have some exciting things going on. So I just received in the mail, finally, the book in print called Put a Shark in Your Tank by Kevin Harrington and me. I have a chapter on product development. So it's kind of centered around after you pitch and you get funded, now the hard work comes for product development. So I just want to tease you with that. I'm going to have a challenge on how you can get a copy of this book, how you can win one, and I'll send it to you. So stay tuned on that. And there's also quite a few events coming up. So the first one is May 1st through the 3rd in San Diego. My friend Joe Hage is hosting that event. It's the 10X Medical Devices Conference. It's amazing if you haven't been. Actually, my dog even worked it 2 years ago. She greeted people as they registered. I was helping him work the registration desk. So anyway, you can head on over to medicaldeviceevents.com and use the promo code IMUA at checkout. That's IMUA for a $30 discount. Then we also have coming up May 11th, if you are in the greater DC area, I'm hosting a medtech and biotech startup networking night. This is at Launch Workspaces in Rockville, Maryland, and it's May 11th, 5:30 to 7:30. There's more information on imua-services.com/events. You can find that out. And sneak peek, next week's episode is going to be co-produced with Launch Workplaces. So we're going to do a dual podcast. They have one as well. So we're going to have some fun on the microphone. You don't want to miss that. And I have events in progress. There's one in the planning stages for Research Triangle Park area in North Carolina. That's Raleigh, Durham, Chapel Hill area. And there's also an event in June coming up on June 28th, I believe, in the final planning stages in Minneapolis, Minnesota. So stay tuned for that. And let's get into the podcast. So speaking of Minnesota, since I was just mentioning that, I was there last week and I was in town for the Design of Medical Devices conference. And this took place at University of Minnesota. They hosted it and it was a pretty neat conference. They had it organized to where there's definitely great content during the day, but it was showcasing all of this innovation happening. And I'm going to open up this podcast by talking with Stephen Tomal, who supervises the lab at the Medical Devices Center. And they have this fellowship program that's pretty cool. So they only accept, I think, 9 or 10 teams each year. So you have to apply and go through this really competitive application process. And then they make teams from, it's usually an engineer or a scientist or sometimes both, along with an MD and an MBA student. So you're kind of forming a business around your technology. And that's awesome because that's what I do. I really want to promote this. And they have a great program set up for that if you're interested. So find out more listening to Stephen. And then let's just roll right into this. So after you hear from Stephen, and what happens there in the fellowship program is pretty advanced, very, very quick moving. But one of my favorite parts of the conference was this student design showcase. And I was really impressed. There were students all over the country with these posters, and they were talking about projects they did in their senior year of college. So if you are a biomedical engineering student here in the US, hopefully your school has one of these programs to where your senior year you can take a design class, and your main focus in this class is to develop a product, and you're taken through all the steps, you're exposed to everything, they try to make it interactive for you. And so I was really impressed with these students, and I interviewed a few of them, so you'll find out what they're up to and what's happening, even from students, even from people younger than, well, I guess they're older than 20 years old, but some of them might not even be 20 yet. All right, so enjoy, and I'll be back after these interviews.
My name is Stephen Tamala, and I am the lab supervisor at the Medical Devices Center.
So the Medical Devices Center you're pretty much hosting this conference.
Yes, we do host it.
In its 16th year. So give us the highlights that you've seen from day one of 2017.
Yeah, well, a little bit of background. The conference was established, like you said, in 2001, and it is and has been the world's largest medical device conference in the world, which is very exciting that we're able to host it. It seems like we have a very wide variety of different sessions and different session speakers, and so it seems like all the different people that are here get a little bit of what they want, and the individuals that are here that kind of are more just observing also get a little taste of everything, so that's always a good thing.
I know in episode 12, wow, that was quite a while ago, I interviewed Dr. Art Erdman of the Medical Devices Center too, and you guys have some exciting things going on. So tell us how specifically this conference ties into the center.
So from all the people that have gone through the center and checked out what we're doing there, we really are unique. And so being that we're in Minnesota, which has over half of the world's medical device companies, and Minneapolis, Minneapolis and St. Paul, the Twin Cities, actually has the highest density of medical device companies in the world, I think it's very fitting that we're able to have this conference here. So the way that the conference plays is really bringing the world's leaders together and being able to have conversations about how we can solve unmet needs. And so we don't discriminate. Any sort of problem that can be solved and improve people's lives is really what we're focused on. And the best way to make sure we're doing that effectively is to bring all these individuals together and companies together in, whether it's an entrepreneur or a CEO of a business or a student, everybody has different ways that we can collaborate and ultimately solve problems that lead to improved healthcare, which is the ultimate goal of not just us at the Medical Devices Center, but also the University of Minnesota and other universities that are represented here today as well.
Yeah, well, thanks for the overview.
Hello, my name is Sriram Bopana. I am with Mind LLC.
And you're in town visiting from Purdue University, huh?
That is correct.
You're participating in the Student Design Showcase?
Yes, absolutely.
Yeah, so tell us about your technology.
So for the Student Design Showcase or my company itself, there's two different.
Ooh.
So yeah, they're with my senior design team, which is different from the company itself.
Okay.
My senior design team and I are here for the Student Design Showcase. Our product, we call it the IntelliSleeve. It's a quantitative and convenient method for monitoring knee biomechanics for rehabilitation of knee injuries, including ACL, MCL tears.
So that intrigued me because I used to work in orthopedic rehab. So tell me more.
All right. So the IntelliSleeve is a complete independent system that uses embedded sensors to monitor the knee biomechanics in 3 dimensions. So we have like a central microcontroller connected to multiple accelerometers, and with that we can get a quantitative measurement. And with our wireless Bluetooth system, we have a custom app that it connects to, and we can track the mechanics over time, especially during rehabilitation exercises.
Yeah, so that can give you an indication of what neuromuscular patterns are going on and the way the bone is moving, essentially. Right now, it's only for the calf and the thigh, correct?
Yeah, that's correct.
Good. So how'd you like our weather with the snow here?
It's not too bad, actually. Like, we're all from the Midwest, so we're pretty used to it by now.
So this conference is showcasing not only student design teams, but just the Midwest coming together in Minnesota as a medical device hub. What's some interesting things that you've picked up being at this conference?
There's always something to learn, for one thing. Well, we've learned a lot, like just being around, like here. We've seen the different companies, what they have to offer, and like where different applications of the job careers that students like us can get into.
Yeah. Good. What's something that you're really impressed with?
Well, we did see a pretty nice 3D printer right there. But to tell you the truth, we haven't really explored the conference too much.
Okay. Good. Well, thank you for your time and have fun today.
Hi, I'm Sean Wolfgang Wachtel.
And I'm Brianna Hassett, and we're from Arizona State University.
So you guys have a poster here today, and you're working on gait analysis. And tell us why your project is different.
So, gait analysis currently is done in clinic. It's done with expensive and complicated force plates and motion capture systems. Our system is a pair of shoes that costs a few $100s, and you can begin using with a push of the button. You turn it on, and it's already collecting all of the necessary data and working at full force. So you can use it at home, you can use it on a hike, you can use it literally anywhere, and anyone can without even perturbing their daily life. So
what's through this, there's always an iterative process of developing something. So what's one of the challenges that you've had and how you overcame that challenge?
So one of the challenges we've had in developing it is because we're using air bladders, there's a lot of involvement of different material properties, and how we overcame that is we basically got a whole bunch of different materials and tried them out and said, okay, this is the best one. We're going to move forward with this for now, but keep asking around and keep our eyes out for what could be better in the future.
Good. And then being at this conference, you're visiting from Arizona. So what's something that you're seeing here that's really exciting just about medical innovation?
mostly just the breadth of interest in different fields and the, I guess, fervor with which they're developing. So there are multiple fields here that are almost brand new. There's something called soft robotics, for instance, that is scientifically only a few years old as far as the mainstream goes. And there are a wide variety, perhaps a quarter today of the posters, focusing specifically on this field. So in just a couple of years, something has gone from a novel concept into a large and diverse topic of study and research. So that's amazing to me, and it's nice to see that even though it's this new and exciting field, they're still collaborating with everyone else, and everyone here has been passionate about asking questions and sharing their information and trying to network so that they can not only talk and have good conversation, but make something out of it and further both projects in the event.
Good. Well, thank you guys.
Thank you.
No problem.
My name is Kat Lee.
Natalia Salinas.
Angela Liu, and we are undergrads at Yale University.
And I'm looking at your poster here. So you have TriFlow, an integrated Lancet and blood collection system for infant blood draw. So give us the 30-second overview.
Yeah, so currently the way that doctors perform blood draws on infants is a little bit inefficient. It has a lot of problems with hemolysis, blood clotting, and not having enough sample volume. And when you have these problems, you end up not being able to test the blood from these sick babies, which delays the kind of health care that you can provide to these sick babies. And so we tried to create a device that will solve all of these, or help to solve all of these problems by integrating the Lancet and blood collecting systems used currently in the standard of care for healed blood draws by improving both.
Yeah. And then, so how's your experience traveling to Minnesota then?
I think it's been amazing. We're very privileged to be able to come and share with other students who've done similar projects. We're proud of what we're presenting, and we're also just very excited to see what everyone else has done.
Yeah, and so this student design showcase, how long have you been working on this? When did you start?
So we all took a semester-long course called Medical Device Design and Innovation. And so this was the product of that one semester of work and also some additional work that we've been trying to explore with our prototype after that. And yeah, so one semester's worth of work.
So you did all this in one semester. What's been your biggest challenge in this?
I think the biggest challenge here was creating a mechanism that would fit in a very small device, because if we wanted to make it large, it would be pretty easy to do that, but a baby's heel is tiny, especially a premature baby. So creating a device that would be able to work with a premature baby's heel, that was quite the mechanical challenge.
And then, I guess, what's the best real world advice or something that you learned throughout this course or doing this project?
I think just in terms of the design process, your client, so the doctors that we worked with, have a different idea in mind of what they want from the device, and that might be different from what you expect. And so it's interesting to have to work with them to kind of see if you not only create an effective device, but a device that they want to use.
Yeah, and then extracting the product requirements from them and then translating that into engineering a product can be challenging. Yeah, well, good. Well, thank you. Okay, so I hoped you guys got a kick out of listening to what's going on, and it was fun to be in Minneapolis, even though it did snow the first night I was there, and this was in April. It was kind of crazy. So anyway, like I said at the beginning of the show, I'd love to get connected with you at one of these upcoming events. So the home base for that is imua-services.com/events. Or if you just make your way to the homepage there, you'll see the events tab. You'll get in the know on everything coming up. And yeah, stay tuned for next week's episode where I do a co-hosted podcast with the Launch Workplaces. And we're going to have some fun on the mic, and I will catch you then. Imua.
Mahalo for joining us. If you're new to riding the waves of medical device product development, or if you've been in development for a while already, Inspired by Imua is here to surf with you. Want to be a master of the waves? Text HANG10, that's HANGTEN, to 44222. We'll send you the most common wipeouts companies make in product development so you can avoid them and reach master wave status. Again, that's HANG10 to 44222. We publish a new episode every Tuesday, so catch us at inspiredbyimua.com. Imua!